Hey guys, I'm Daisho and I'm here bringing you a game of Magic, and today we're going to be going through another one of my sealed pools that I rearranged to hopefully be a lot of fun. This one, I can't remember what I did last time. I think it had something to do with like Runescar, Demon, Blood Bat, Double Murder. I was using those kind of cards as opposed to my aggressive cards, which are actually really sweet. So let's go ahead and take a look. I could have made an interesting aggressive deck because look at this. We have 5 Blur Slivers. I only have 1 Predatory though, so they're not really that useful, and I have none of the rare ones. Are the rare ones even in sealed? I don't know. I don't think they are. But anyway, and only 1 striking, so not really too much going on there. But in the end, what I decided to do was go more of a mid-rangey route, and I've got like a decent some removal and some interesting spells, and then some bigger creatures and a little bit of stuff to push them over the top. But most of the deck is comprised of creatures that are big enough to basically just kill my opponent in 3 or 4 attacks, maybe 5. I don't know. 5. It's more like 5 or 6, but still big enough to kill them on their own. So they have to be answered. The threats have to be answered, all of them. So I don't know. I think it makes it a pretty powerful deck. So we're gonna start with a Protein Hydra. This thing is really powerful. Basically, you have to kill it the first time, or you can't chump block it, pretty much, is what it says. You can still trade for it in combat. Death Touch doesn't work against it, but other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory and pretty powerful. Brittle Effigy is just colorless removal, so really strong card. It's basically just a 5-mana sorcery exile target creature, but you can break it up if you want. The thing about it is if you do that, then they know it's coming, so they'll hold on to their important stuff, and eventually you'll have to use it on something not important. Or, I mean, technically, if you're ahead on the board and you're killing them, then they're going to have to play a spell that's important to stop you from winning anyway, so then you can just remove that. I don't know. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal if you play it out early. 2 Giant Growths. I have some creatures, and Giant Growth is actually just a really powerful spell, it turns out. Who knew, right? It's only been around since, what, beta? Alpha? I don't know. Goblin Shortcutter. 1 in a red, 2/1. Good to play early, really good in the mid to late game, and in this format, even in the late game, if your opponent doesn't have any creatures out, he's just going to hit for 2, and that's pretty sweet. Predatory Sliver is really just a 2/2 for 2, so not much to talk about there. I don't think he has any other upside in this deck. Anyway, Volcanic Geyser is a really good finisher in this kind of deck, because, I mean, there's a good chance that I do a bunch of damage and take my opponent to like 5 or 6 or something like that, and then at some point in the game I can just finish it off with this thing. Double Regathan Firecat. I mean, with the Shortcutters and the Giant Growths, these things can actually get in and survive combat sometimes, and when they do, they're really powerful. But a lot of the time, they're to trade for like a Giant Scorpion or even just like a 2/2 or something like that, and that's usually fine too. Dungrove Elder is actually really good, even though this is a deck that's only running 8 forests. If he's a 2/2 or a 3/3 hexproof, a lot of the time that's really enough, and your opponent can't kill it with anything, so they need to block it with creatures, and I don't know. It just seems to work out a lot better than I thought it would in a 2-color deck. Because usually I wouldn't think that this card would be anywhere near worth it, especially since I'm not running any like auras or anything like that. But it seems to be getting the job done, so I'm pretty happy. You'll see the reason for the 9/8 split. Although I mean I definitely could go up a forest. Anyway, double Advocate of the Beast, sweet card. Double Marauding Maulhorn kind of works well, but yeah, I mean I have 2 Advocate of the Beasts and then 4 drops, and then Garruk's Pack Leader, which are all beasts, and they really help. Anyway, Garruk's Pack Leader, I mean look at all the cards that I have to trigger it. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6, 7. 7 cards that are less than 5 mana that trigger it, which is just really sweet. Then I got a couple turns aside. This card's really fine. I mean, just basically kill something. The funny thing is the Destroy All Equipment clause is really not useful, since pretty much the only equipment that's useful, maybe Scimitar is okay, but is Swiftfoot Boots, and you can't target it if it has Swiftfoot Boots on it. Anyway, Enlarge just helps me push through some damage, or maybe kill a threat that I normally wouldn't be able to kill because I just use the make it block or whatever the turn it comes down, so that's pretty good. And then I got a couple of Shivan Dragons just to finish the game out, so I guess I really don't, I was thinking that Fire Breathing on Shivan Dragon would be useful, and also the fact that I have all these double reds, but I also have a couple of double greens. I think I'm gonna Yeah, no, actually I'm going to keep it, because, I mean, I do have a lot of double reds, but, yeah, anyway, I just wanted to check here, because I wanted to make sure I don't remember if I even looked in the X area. So anyway, that is going to be the deck that I'm going to go ahead and play a couple of games with, and, yeah, let's do it. Should be fun. I don't know if there's going to be anybody playing. Oh, I was right. Okay, well, we can host a game, and hopefully somebody will desire to duel me in the game of Magic. Man, Duels of Planeswalker Shield is actually a lot of fun. Like, for a while, I thought it was just going to be really boring, and, I mean, the format is pretty dominated by decks that run multiple murders, but, I mean, it's fun to try and beat that, because, I mean, there are first of all, you can build your deck to just destroy that. If you get, like, Swiftfoot Boots or whatever, or, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that there are things that you can do that I'm just not thinking of right now, but like my Elixir deck is an interesting example, though that sort of is one of the murder decks as well. But I don't know, maybe probably not the burn deck, because Elixir would probably gain too much life for it to be useful. Anyway, this is interesting because I do have a Shivan Dragon in 5 mana, but yeah, actually I'm gonna keep this. I got 2 red, 2 green. 3 green even if I draw Dungrove Elder, and I have a 2-drop, and there are a lot of really good 4-drops in this deck, so there's like a decent chance that I can actually do something really, really good in the early turns. See, and luckily I did draw a Firecat. It's so awkward how Firecat is a 3-drop and Shortcutter is a 2-drop, because this happens so often where you draw both of them, and you, especially even in N14 Limited, since both of these cards are commons, you want to play this as a 2-drop, or as a 3-drop after the Rigathan Firecat. Obviously it wouldn't make sense. This would be way too powerful as a 2-drop, and I don't know, actually this probably wouldn't be so bad as a 3-drop. Shortcutter, but it wouldn't be nearly as good. Like, they printed a card, Fervent Cathar, which is the exact same thing as this, except it has haste, and it's 3. So, I guess that's not too unreasonable now that I think about it. But anyway, my opponent played a Fog Bank, which is really bad for me. I don't really have much in the way of removal that can take care of this. I think I took out my Plummet, like, just before this game, but I have, like, a Brittle Effigy, and a Volcanic Geyser, and a couple of Turn to Slags. So, we'll see. I mean, hopefully I can draw, like, 4-drop into Turn to Slag. Divination. That's pretty good for him. He already was on the draw, so he's sort of a card up that way, and now he's another card up because of Divination. And, I mean, hey, there we go. All I get to do is attack for 2 here, but the fact that he doesn't have Essence Scatter mana up is really good, because that means I can resolve this Maulhorn, although I do fully expect it to get pacified. Still pretty good, because that means that my Shivan Dragon isn't going to get pacified. So, yeah. My opponent's still got... Yeah, I mean, he does have 7 cards in hand, and, I don't know, probably at least 3 or 4 of them are spells. I guess it's a safe assumption to, I mean, one of them's going to have to answer this, otherwise he's in really bad shape, because then he's taking 6 a turn, and soon Shivan Dragon's going to come down and make that even more. So, I don't know. We're definitely not in terrible position yet. Really just depends on how good the cards are in my opponent's deck, because, I mean, he's got a few spells, so oh my god, they're terrible. Okay. But that's actually not so bad for him. So bad, that card, Master Thief. Giant Growth or Turn to Slag would have been pretty nice there, but, I mean, I'm still attacking, right? I mean, I trade here, get in for 2, I guess. Like, I mean, there's no real reason not to. The only annoying thing, he's not trading? Oh. Maybe, maybe he thinks I have Giant Growth and Might Evokes or something. I can't imagine why he wouldn't block there, though. It's so strange. I don't know why he's playing this card anyway. It's not even like just gain control of it forever. It's just until you lose this. So if they, I mean, I guess you can like gain control of their Swiftfoot boots and put them on Master Thief, but it just doesn't seem good. Man, he is curving out like a boss. He played Fogbank into Divination into Master Thief into Sarah Angel. So 2, 3, 4, 5. It's pretty good. Another Shivan Dragon, also pretty good. Before I do that, I'm just going to attack with my Maulhorn. Obviously, I'm not going to attack with... Well, I guess I can attack with the Firecat. But I really don't want to trade it for this, so there's no real reason to. Other than the fact that he didn't block last turn, so that leads me to believe that he wouldn't. So, I mean, I just have to attack with this. That's why I know that he can block with Fogbank, but this clause says you must control it. I mean, you must attack with it. Alright, well, start playing Shivan Dragons. Eventually, that'll end the game, right? I mean, he still has 6 cards in hand, so... Yeah. I mean, if this card was actually something impactful, like... what 4-drop could have been really good? Maybe like a Charging Griffin? No, I don't know. Maybe it's not so bad. Just being a 2-2 for 4. Paid actually twice as much, since you'd expect to pay 1 and a blue for a 2-2, and he paid 2 and 2 blue. Here's a Dawnstrike Paladin. It's fine with me. Not great, because that means that he can just like double block with this, and I can only trade my Marauding Maulhorn for Dawnstrike Paladin. But then, now that I think about it, Marauding Maulhorn is a 4-drop, and this is a 5-drop. But if I do play Advocate of the Beast, then I can keep this for another turn or 2. Because then I don't have to attack. Yeah, that's a really good idea, man. You should definitely attack me with your Sarah Angel. Alright, so he's got 1 mana up. It could be like Stave Off or Condemn, but I hope it's not. Alright, so I did draw a Garrick's Pack Leader. Alright, I think that I'm just gonna not attack with anything else. Well, no, I'm gonna attack with this too. Like, the thing is, the obvious play is for him to just double block here, and then the Fogbank's just gonna block there. But, yeah, what are you doing, buddy? Stave Off? Okay. That's not so terrible. Alright, that's fine. I mean, like, my Maulhorn traded for a Stave Off, so that's less than ideal, but... See, so the problem with attacking with this is that now he can just attack me with his Sarah Angel, since I want to play this Pack Leader. Because I want to start drawing cards. This enters the battlefield. So I really hope that he doesn't have a Essence Scatter. That would be so bad for me. Charging Griffin. Okay. That's not great, because now he can just like double block. But see, this is why he should have saved Stave Off. I think. I don't know, it was a weird block, because he would have had basically just as good of a block just trading off Dawnstrike Paladin, which is really like not going to do anything with all of the creatures on the board here. Alright, I'm just going to play Shivan Dragon. I'm not even going to attack this turn, so there's no point in trying to do it before combat or whatever. But, alright, so that resolved. Really good for me. And I got to draw Forest. So that's fine. And this is a good old-fashioned stare down. To be honest, like, I'm not in that great a shape. Bell Tower Sinks. Yeah, now really not. Although, I mean, he's still... Let's see, I've got 3, so I guess I need 1 more before I can trade for both Bell Tower and Sarah Angel. There's a Maulhorn. Less than ideal, but let's go for it. Because, I mean, it will draw me a card, so that's pretty good, but the fact that it is just going to attack into his team is not as good. But yeah, let's just ship the turn here. I feel like eventually I'll just out-creature him. Let's see, why is... I guess I drove a couple more lands. I don't know. I was trying to figure out why we have the same amount of creatures in play. Brittle Effigy. That's awesome. Not even sure which one I want to kill. Make sure it's for green, because I want to keep all my red mana up, if possible. And let's go into the combat attack time. Get in there, Shivan Dragons! Wait, hold on. Do I want to just kill this thing now? Fogbank. Do I want to just kill Fogbank now? And he can't even block with it. Fine. Let's do it. Like, the thing is, I can make it as such a good combat trick, sort of. Like, it makes his blocks bad, but this gives him just less options. So I had the choice of either giving him bad options or just so like this makes it so that he only has bad options, I think. Not sure. I didn't really think out too much what he could do, but if I hadn't played that, then he would have had to think more, but I think he still could have come up with better blocks. But if he's just going to double chump, like, God, this is so dumb for him. Yeah, I'm gonna bump this guy. No reason not to do 3. Even if he's got unsummon, I still can't cast it anyway. And he just dealt. That was so bad. Like, he really should have double blocked one of these Shivan Dragons with Bell Tower Sphinx and Sarah Angel, because then he can trade 2 for 1, or 1 for 1 rather. He can just trade Sarah Angel for Shivan Dragon, and then maybe jump one of the other ones, but okay, he just quit out. But then this thing should have teamed up with Master Thief to block this. I mean, it should have done that the first time, but still. Alright, so he gets to attack me, but I have way more 4-power creatures than he has creatures. There is a Protean Hydra, by the way. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I didn't even count that guy when I was counting how many, guess whatever. When I was counting how many Garrick's Pack Leader things we have, because, I mean, this is always, holy shit. Yeah, it's fine. It's still 15 damage going through. I think I'm okay. Alright, so that was just a good old-fashioned stomping. Not even really that close. I mean, I guess there was like a board stall in the middle, so it was pretty interesting, sort of. But yeah, Garrick's Pack Leader just led me to victory. Double Shivan Dragon, not terrible. And then finally I drew that Brittle Effigy to get rid of the Fogbank, which was pretty much the most important card that he played that game. They must have gained him like 30 life. Especially, I mean, playing a Fire Cat on 3, just running straight into a Fogbank the entire game is pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, he really just didn't want to trade that Master Thief. Like, it was so weird, because he could have traded it for the Regathan Fire Cat so much earlier, but he just decided to hold on to it, even though there was really no way that it was ever going to do anything other than either double block or trade or something like that, so... Seems really strange the way he played that game, but I just think that he might not have known any better.